some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-dah day.
Hi there. Welcome to Last Man Standing. I'm Dan Hollifield. And once again, if you missed Stupid O'Clock, it was one of those occasions where it started out slow, built up momentum, lost it a few times, and built it back up again. Uh, I must say, Dawn was in amazing form tonight as far as the witticisms are going. She was amazing. With me tonight, we got Joe Bachman, we got Aunt Donna, we got Rich. In the chat, we got Mike Jimmy, and we've got Thesis. And I guess we're in for a wild and crazy night. As a lot of
You're
people may have.
wild and crazy guys. Sorry.
Yes. I guess as a lot of people may have realized by my absence from shows last week, I was at LibertyCon and hotel Wi-Fi was not up to the task, nor is my travel laptop, which is still good for several more years. So I don't intend to upgrade it just quite yet because I've got carpentry and plumbing to do with that money. So, and Foxy's looking for a bit as well.
Foxy's a good looker.
I do believe you said that correctly. I'd be surprised if you hadn't.
Me? I'm a competent writer. I can enunciate when I wanna.
Yeah, I thought Joe Bachman was going to be away from screen when we actually started the show. I was trying to think of something witty about him attempting to repair a water pressure differential problem or something. But thankfully it was not necessary. Joe Dog had some terrible jokes tonight. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and you started it
I did.
You allowed him to tell the first one.
I, hey, it's his show. Allow. Um,
And he said he had something for you, and you said go ahead, and he did, and he
N-
did.
Nick Tockert was in rare form tonight as well.
I wouldn't know. Did he change rooms or something? Because one minute he was in the room we were in, and then the next thing Carl and I knew, y'all was responding to him, and we're going, he's not saying anything in here.
He might have
Um,
accidentally changed rooms then.
yeah, I had to leave the one that YouTube shows me as the first up link for Stupid O'Clock and go to my subscriptions to get to the one we were actually in, which I cannot do with my own channel because, in all of its infinite lack of wisdom, YouTube will not let me subscribe to my own channel. Um, Go figure. Uh, so what's up?
Well, the four of us for one thing, and the three of them.
Well, in another 2 hours, I will have cheated death for another year.
Oh, well, congratulations, good sir. I pretty much say that every time I wake up,
Me too.
but I don't get a birthday cake because of it.
But then again, Joe's not as old as we are.
It's not the age, dear, it's the mileage.
Mm.
Trust me, there's plenty of mileage on there too.
We'll
Thank
come
you,
back
Foxy
to that
Beast.
subject tomorrow night. Oh,
Oh. Yep,
although
started vacation today, so I'm off all the way through the holiday and go back July 8th. Probably to nothing to do still.
Joe, you're up every day. You just don't go to work for the next several. Hey, I resemble that remark too. So
Yeah.
So, any special plans for tomorrow?
No. Gonna go out to eat tomorrow night. Go to Tap House, hopefully have the ribs. If they don't,
We got to make
sounds
a
like a
trip up
plan.
your way.
I'm wondering if Lindsay wants to go with me to the east side of town. And town by town, I mean the next county. And I've got stuff. We had a little scare about the plumbing today. We thought we had another leak. It turns out the the toilet tank, the little float valve, is not shutting off, and the toilet just keeps running continually. And when we turn the valve at the bottom, the valve at the wall to shut off the water to the toilet tank, all the water pressure came back. So no leak, but I do have to do a little bit of plumbing tomorrow.
All you got to do is just bend that little arm a little bit.
No, it doesn't have an arm. It's got something at the top that you can't adjust,
Oh, it doesn't
and
have
that's
one of
it.
those arms with the ballast? Oh,
Nope,
okay.
nope.
Must be a
Uh,
southern thing.
no, it's a city thing.
I
Um,
wouldn't know about that.
it let's just say it doesn't work quite as well as the little balloon on a stick used to. Uh, at least that one you could adjust.
Hmm.
This one, there's no way to adjust it. The only thing you can do is make the water run faster or the water run slower. You can't make it shut off at a slightly lower level than what it wants. It's this
oh, the
modern technology. It's not supposed to fail, except when it does.
Hmm.
The kind that almost looks like an air traffic control tower.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It
Um,
it has worked flawlessly for 5 years. Um, and believe me, I've had to redo the innards of this toilet tank time and time again. This has been the most painless version of a float that we've had, but you know, we got iron rich water, so equipment does not last quite as long when it's hooked up to the plumbing, which includes the copper pipes, but I've still got enough of that plastic to redo almost all of the copper in the house that isn't sandwiched in between walls.
Oh, Steve
Thesis'
says,
birthday is going to be on a Thursday,
uh-huh.
and hey, if he doesn't tell anybody, or Foxy doesn't tell it, or Kitty doesn't
Yeah.
tell anybody,
No, Foxy just confirmed what I believed that she'd tell on him.
oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
Well,
That's our job as women in your men's life.
like this group isn't
that's not the one we hired you for.
skilled enough to find it if we really wanted to.
That's true. I mean, we found out about another certain individual just a week ago. So yeah.
Yeah, we tracked down some information pretty quick.
Yeah, thesis Facebook would, since we're friends, would tell us what you claim your birthday is.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do have an ID in the convention gear that says I was born 20 years before the Civil War, and it is a color photo ID. Uh, Mike
uh,
Jimmy.
hi, Mike Jimmy.
Hey, Mike.
Carl's
Yeah.
work wife. Her real birthday is actually just a few days after mine, at the beginning of December. However, she told the people at work that her birthday was in July. So, I mean, she's been there 10, 15 years, and all the people who work there still think her birthday's in July.
There are a couple of writers I know that they have totally fictitious birthdays listed on their Facebook accounts. And they go, I don't want to tell anybody what my real birthday is.
Yeah, no.
And my wife is sworn to secrecy, so seems
Yeah,
to be an exclusively male club. I don't know. Either that or the women keep secrets so well that we've never found out that they're using a fake birthday.
they've got better things to dish about. So, Mike Jimmy, were your ears burning earlier, about 5 hours ago? Because I was talking about you.
No, 5 hours ago I was sleeping.
Ah,
Um, and yeah, my voice is all over the place. So last weekend I got a little cold. I was at Dutch Comic Con and I still had to talk for 12 hours straight to everybody, going, hey, this is my world, this is what I do. And so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I had a voice even lower than this. Luz didn't mind, I know that much.
I don't mind either. Did you see the little vid that Nick Talker put up in this humor group about finding a bulked up you?
Let's see.
Maybe you in 20 or 30 years, but
I don't know. I can't find it.
I don't know. This little Karen comes on and is like, sarcasm is a red flag, and gives this little what she thought was a cute face. And this Viking dude comes on with the hair and the oh the tattoos and stuff, and talks about yeah, but hitting people is illegal, so better to be sarcastic than in jail.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Nick tagged me in it, knowing that I would like it. And every time somebody comments on it, I gotta watch that video again. I mean, I have to, you know, and study it, because I have to study out, what those tattoos say, and yeah, both his nipples are pierced, and I gotta go back and recheck that video again.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, well, I like to do my job thoroughly.
I am so not touching that line.
It's character research for the next book.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's going to be another book in the spicy section, huh?
Apparently, you're the one writing it.
Yeah, I only got a couple of minutes because I gotta head on out to. Wait, other side. Oh, where is it? No, it is this side. Little. Because it's a job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a job I wanted. It's not a job I need. Well, it is a job I need. So
It's a job that comes with a paycheck
exactly.
and maybe insurance as well.
No, insurance is mandatory in the Netherlands. And,
Oh, okay.
it is not job specific. So,
It
yeah,
keeps baby food in the cabinet and diapers on the shelf.
it makes sure that we don't lose money more than we already have the last couple of months, because not having a job is not great for household.
No.
Mhm.
And worrying about not having a job lowers your creativity.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
stress does not work well with the artistic mind.
honestly, I don't draw much outside of work things, so I'm not that creative on my own. Um, so that didn't change much, and honestly, I was just taking care of Aurora. I was doing fine in that regard. Um, but yeah, I've been just prepping the next line from Cora. I got sketch covers, volume sketch covers,
All right.
Yeah.
and this is a proof copy because something happened on the spine,
Oh,
Oh.
and apparently
the
the file
alignment was not
didn't work
quite
also.
right on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that means that I have an example now.
Yeah, but that's a collector's item.
Exactly. So I'm making 10 of those. I got one backer on the Kickstarter that got one, but since Castlefest is coming up, and last year we sold nearly all hardcovers there, I figured we got to do something more
Mhm.
to rake in some extra money.
There's a lady writer in Texas I know, and the publisher messed up and misspelled her name on the spine of the book, but nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going, I've got copies of this. What I do? And I said, collector's items. I want one.
Yeah,
And she autographed it and mailed it to me. Yeah, I've got one of the few.
those are the best though.
Hey, it's one of those things where who else has got a book by P.N. Elrond? I don't know. There might have been 50 or 100 copies, or there might have just been 10. I forget how many she had to have for her proof order, but um, still, it's worth it. It's really worth it. She actually put Lindsay and me in one of her subsequent novels as characters. I I won a charity auction. That is why. Uh, but someone's home had burned down, and Pat had dived in full steam trying to help these people. They were friends of hers, and um, I I looked at it and I go, sure, I can give something. Oh, one of the things that you can bid on is being a character in one of her books.
Hell yeah.
Take my money here.
Okay, I actually got to hop again because I got to cycle for 30 minutes and my throat is finally up to the task again. So,
Well,
take care.
Have a safe trip to work,
it's good
sir.
to
and
see you.
Have a good
Okay.
day.
Take
Have a
care.
good one. Good luck, sir. Have a great day.
See you
Take care,
later.
guys.
Thank you, Foxy.
Oh yeah. Like, share, subscribe. You'll join the other half a dozen people that are subscribed to this channel.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $6 goodbye. It's hard work. Oh, right, sorry.
No, doesn't
You
cost
have
anything.
58 subscribers.
I do.
That's what my thing here says.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Not touching that.
Go ahead, touch it.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Actually, that's
Don't
what he said to her.
Don't touch it. Her dad's a cop.
My ex-psychopath's father's a cop.
You'd be amazed at how many times you hear that on a band bus on the way back from a from a football game. It can't be true every time. Otherwise, there'd be more cops than ordinary citizens in the county.
Maybe that cop's just Catholic.
Nah.
Or subscribes to the Quiverful movement. Like, what was
And
it?
we're not-
was the,
we're now-
the Duggins?
We're not
that did
out
it?
anywhere near Thesis, so they can't be Mormon. So,
Actually, my boyfriends did not have to worry about my father. In fact, a lot of my boyfriends, I double dated a lot with my parents. It was my older brothers they had to watch out for. Yeah.
Most of my ex's family liked me better than her. When we broke up, her parents asked mine if they wanted to trade kids. I was told if I ever thought about going back out with his daughter, he'd hit me in the head with a brick not because, he doesn't want me dating his daughter because she's too good for me, but because I'm too good for her and I need to date up.
I have actually run into where a partner's ex mother-in-law preferred me to her own son. That was kind of freaky, but
Oh, my parents never preferred my exes, but they stayed friends with them and sometimes saw them without me. Okay. Which was okay because I never had a bad breakup. Not even my my two engagements when we broke up, it was friendly. my first fiance came, and the woman he was with at the time even came to Carl's and mine's wedding reception.
All right. Oh! I did
Sorry,
get some.
the phrasing on that. If you go back and watch that, you'll see why I snickered like a 12-year-old.
Dan's like, huh?
Hey, um,
Because what I heard was, the my ex fiance and the woman he came in,
Yeah, he did a lot of that.
probably why he's an ex fiance.
One of the reasons, yeah. The other reason was his parents sent him back home to Greece to be in the army and didn't buy him out of the army until he agreed to break up with me. That kind of killed the mood there.
so my choice is or death.
Yeah.
Sorry, son, we're all out of cake.
And Carl was always wanting to swap moms, and I'm like, no, I don't want your mother any more than you do.
Well, I did get some good news at LibertyCon this weekend. It seems the audiobook for the Spaceport Bar Stories is finished and is being released.
Very nice.
Um, Seeing how long the book is, I don't know why somebody did an audiobook of the whole thing, but
Well, they audiobooked The Lord of the Rings, so
I'm going. He's going to give me a link to get a free copy. I'll put it in my Kindle, and I'll probably listen to it one story at a time. Because I am a long-winded bugger, and some of those stories go on for a ways. Uh, that should be interesting. The longer stories are the ones that people uh, really seem to enjoy most because I dive into things that aren't necessarily inside the bar, but have to do with the world that the bar is on.
mm-hmm.
Or let's see, the one that I'm actually looking forward to hearing the most is a Sherlock Holmes story.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And when will this be available to the public?
That I do not know. I was just told it's done. The publisher has a link. He has not listened to it yet. He's going to send me a link to get a free copy. And if people buy it, that's, I might get $5 in royalties next month or next quarter rather than $1.28 or whatever they were this year. Actually, I think I got $26 for the last 3 months.
And which retailers will it be available through? I mean,
It'll probably be Audible.
good. I've got a subscription to Audible.
I do too. And they can't figure out why I keep going, I'll pass on a new audiobook, thank you. And they charge me again. And they go, hey, you got 12 credits, one of which is going to expire at the end of this month. And I'm going, yeah, there's a reason for that. I don't have time to listen to audiobooks anymore. I'm trying to write. Although it's fun to actually hear an audio of your own story.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Yeah, it's funky. I'll grant you that. And it's funnier when the people that are doing it aren't American, so they think that certain words are just you misspelling something. Um, so instead of saying, something came over in a tinny voice over the intercom, they say a tiny voice over the intercom.
Or a tannoy voice. Oh my God. Yeah. I had one fellow that read one story. He was not very fluent in nautical or airship terms. And when it came to the point where the bow of the airship was pointed at something, he read it as the bow. And I'm going, what am I supposed to shoot an arrow at him? What do you think I've got this heat ray for? Uh,
Who do you think an airship's going to date? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
Lord.
Dan, that reminds me. Have you ever heard of Murdoch Mysteries?
Yes, I have. Lindsay watches them.
I was gonna say,
I have watched a couple with her. They are. I kind of like them. They
yeah,
do pique my interest.
they're kind of steampunky, aren't they? With the little gadgets that he makes sometimes.
Yes,
I
that's
like
one of
it.
the.
I like it. I love his taser.
I don't believe I've seen that one yet. Oh,
It looks kind of like a tuning fork with batteries between here.
uh huh.
Because I haven't seen the episode, but I've seen the when they were talking about Murdoch Mysteries, a little snippet, and I'm like, "What's he got in his hand?" And about that time, he goes in this guy's shoulder, like, "Oh, it's a taser." It was so cute.
Thesis. Never heard any of my own stuff being narrated by anyone else. That would be interesting. Yes.
Yes.
Um, now, the first time the story was short enough to where I was able to sit down and provide a pronunciation guide for the narrator with the Spaceport Bar book, I go, too many pages, too many words, too many aliens. I'm sorry. Just, I wrote everything phonetically, just wing it. Nobody's going to pronounce it the same way in their heads anyway. And then the old Dan story, the main reason I wrote that one was because the voice would not get out of my head. And then I recorded it as an audio. And now people demand more. Um, I think just because the voice worked so well.
I had a friend offer to do an audiobook of The Seduction of Lily Monroe, and I'm like, who would you have do it? And he says, oh, I've got this friend of mine. And I said, oh, you know, do you think she'd do that? And he says, oh no, it's a he. And I'm sitting there thinking, two guys want to do an audio on about a woman losing her virginity, and I just couldn't see it.
That doesn't sound kosher, actually. For that kind of story, you actually need a lady narrator for it to have the impact
Mm,
that the actual story would have. And yeah, thesis. Uh, Usually, how it works for me is narrated by me in my head, but it's not my voice. You should hear me trying to work out dialogue between 2 or 3 different aliens in the middle of a story, and not only do I know their languages, but their speech patterns. And I'm sitting here doing uh, the Frank Gorshin thing of talking to myself in like 3-part harmony and carrying on arguments at the same time. But uh,
Oh, none of us ever do that.
it's easier in my head than it is out loud, believe me. But there are times I used to have people walk up on me at the factory, and I'd be talking to myself, and they'd look at me like this was before cell phones, and they'd be looking at me like I was nuts, and I'd look up and notice them going, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm working on a story. I'm just trying to find out whether or not this dialogue works. If you can actually say this comfortably, or if it sounds like George Lucas wrote it." You can't say this shit. You can only write it.
Hmm.
It looks good in print. You try speaking it, and
And it goes, what?
yeah, really.
Cthulhu shows up on your front door with its bags like, hey, you said you got a spare room? It's not time for me to wake up yet, so I just need another couple thousand years nap. And
Well,
sadly, I'm at the stage where I'm like, well, if you pay your portion of the rent, fine, fuck it.
really, I'm not using that one room in the barn. Uh, just don't go near the still. But yeah, Foxy, all creatives hear the voices of their characters while they're writing, and if they're lucky, that's the only time. Um, when you start hearing them while you're shopping, that becomes a problem.
Been there, done that.
What do you mean I can't have those hot dogs? That's the brand I like. It's not the brand that's good for you. It's hot dogs. None of them are good for me.
Oh, that's not what my voices say. My voices say, what are you doing here when we need to be burying that body over there? And then I got to make sure I don't say that out loud.
Really? What? In the pickles? No.
No, my brain went to, what about Deaf Riders? Do they see, people signing things back and forth in their head? I'm on medication, folks. Don't blame
No.
me.
I'm
No,
serious.
Blame
that's-
the opiates.
I'm seriously considering the concept. I mean, my mind is going, "Hey,
Me
that's
too.
cool." It's sort of like, how does a blind artist know what color he's using when he's painting?
This feels red?
It's gooey.
There's braille on the tube.
The
Yeah,
red
there you
was a
go.
little tackier than the blue, so I'm thinking this is the red because it's not as tacky. The yellow's really runny, so I know this isn't the yellow.
Okay, there's a subject for another story.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, if they use fruit-based pigments, they can do it on the taste.
Sorry, some oil paints are actually poisonous.
No, I
No.
wasn't saying oil. I was saying if all they made all their paint out of fruits and vegetable types they would be able to tell by taste.
Hmm,
Very true.
yeah. or or
Uh,
by smell when you
okay,
open the tube.
blueberry.
Yeah.
No, I don't want the cucumber. I'm sorry.
Although,
I'm sorry.
what's are you sure you don't want the cucumber? Um, but
No,
Oh,
the
she wants it
zucchini's
just not
better.
right now.
that could solve so many 5-year-olds actually getting their fruits and vegetables in the day by making finger paints out of
I hurt myself.
fruits and vegetables.
Mm.
I don't like this green. It tastes like broccoli. Which wouldn't work on me because I like broccoli. Ah, oh dear.
Pro is the only one in the family that doesn't like broccoli if there's cheese on it. She likes broccoli and they like broccoli and cauliflower. Um,
Green.
regular, maybe some spice like salt, pepper.
Mm,
Some of um, the steak seasoning or some of the garlic and herb seasoning. Tossed
yeah.
on stuff tossed around. But the second there's any sauce, including cheese, they turn up their nose, even though they are a fiend for cheese as well.
There were a lot of vegetables that I did not enjoy when they were cooked, but when somebody chopped them up and put them on a finger food bar with munchies and say ranch dressing or something like that,
Hmm.
I changed my mind real quick. Uh,
Raw broccoli or raw cauliflower. Yeah, I like that.
yeah, and eggplant was one I could not stand when it was cooked. And Mom used to cook
You
it as
gotta
if it were
find it to be
fried green
cooked
tomatoes.
right.
Yeah.
Um, like I don't like eggplant that way. Um, but if it's baked just right with some olive oil and some salt and pepper and some other veggies in there with it, like if it's all cooked on like a sheet pan together and stuff like that. Um, I I will beat an MFer with another MFer to get to that plate.
Uh,
Um,
Okay, this is food we've turned into the burning his yarn.
no, one of the weird things was that after I had actually tried these finger foods at different parties and things, and experienced different raw vegetables with some kind of dip that would usually be with potato chips, crisps for anybody who's in England. Um,
so you heard it here first, folks. Dan likes it raw with dips.
yeah, I like to dip it raw. Yeah, uh,
Okay.
uh, and I actually began to enjoy those same vegetables cooked in different things after that, where I did not enjoy them before. But there was a time when um,
There
I
it
could
is.
not eat any spicy hot food. And then I went to a party where they had nachos with jalapenos, and I had to call into work the next day because I ate almost an entire tray by myself.
And you were experiencing Johnny Cash syndrome. Sitting down, down, down with that ring of fire.
Pretty much. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and after that,
There's
I
my
I
thing says
like
acid
I
ass.
like I, milder peppers just fine, and by mild I mean getting on up to just on into the high end of jalapenos. Even though I've got habaneros and a few other things in my uh, pickled pepper jar, where some of the guys from work would bring in peppers that they've grown, and I just cut them up and put them in a big uh, jar of vinegar and let them sit for a year or so. Um, hey,
So I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook the other day about a local hot sauce place here,
Mm-hmm.
but they have some hot sauces that might be in your range, Dan.
if they're
They have
mild, yeah,
they have a couple of banana pepper based ones.
those I love those. I actually do.
One is called Angry Monkey. I swear to God.
No, I'm shaking my head for another reason.
Go ahead.
I'm almost scared to know what the reason is.
Well, you know, the perfect name for a hot sauce shop that is opened up in, say, Nevada near a brothel. Ass blasters. Um,
Yeah.
I think there is a hot sauce by that name.
Yeah, they have the Angry Monkey banana pepper hot sauce, which is it's really good on a lot of different things.
you said that was a Chesterton-based shop, right?
So they're at the Chesterton European Market
Okay.
each weekend. But they do also have a website where you can order. The other
Okay, or Miletta's
the other
hot sauce, is that it?
banana, huh? Melita hot sauce.
Is it Miletta's hot? Yeah,
Yeah, Melitas,
okay,
Mulattoes.
that's
I
where
don't
you're
know.
from.
It's good hot sauce.
So we'll put that over in the food folder to check out later.
But they have another one, and it's actually not on their site for some reason, but it's called Vomit.
Ah,
But it's a fire roasted banana pepper hot sauce that it's a thick sauce though. It's almost like looking at the bottle. If it didn't have a label on it, you would think it was like a thick Italian dressing.
Ah,
And it's very good on Italian beef.
but they call it
sounds it.
vomit.
Yep. Yeah, they have interesting names like Italian finger peppers, smolder, mango murder, which is a mango habanero and Carolina Reaper.
Oh, we had a guy at work that was he was growing Carolina Reapers and goes, "Yeah, these are okay, but I'd really like something a little bit more intense." And he was real glad when whoever it was came out with a ghost pepper variety. And I'm going,
That dude will just walk through his plants and just start popping off peppers that would melt my ass just by being in the same county.
exactly.
I'm like,
I mean,
what the hell, dude?
we had guys at work that bring these things in and not tell anybody what they were and just go here.
Ooh, that could
Oh
be
yeah,
bad.
yeah. Help yourself. I got plenty. And then they'd sit there and
They
they'd
have,
watch you with this Joe Dog grin on their face, and you knew it was a trap.
Oh
everything
god,
okay,
hot
Donna?
sauce.
Mhm.
Everything okay, Donna?
Yeah, I just had to chase Calvin out of my bathroom.
Ah. They actually have a dessert hot sauce called Original Sin. It's a cinnamon based.
Oh,
Huh.
Ooh, that sounds
That-
good.
flavors of Fireball.
I can think
Is
of
your
a couple of
fireball not
applications,
fireball-y enough?
right? I could think of a couple of possible applications for that one. But there it is. Oh, it's a special. It's a limited. The vomit's a limited edition.
Ah,
Let's hope it's limited.
I would think so.
Well,
Um,
I'm gonna pull it up here real quick because once you see what it looks like in the bottle, you'll get what I mean by it looks like Italian dressing. If it
yeah,
didn't have the label there. But
yeah. It does remind me slightly of after a dorm party in college and too much hunch punch and crawling down a hallway, desperately hoping to be able to reach a restroom. Yes, I've been to college. Thank you.
Orano ginger garlic?
yeah, that one sounds
That
interesting.
sounds
It does.
tasty.
Some of those sound like they would be
Especially
really,
if you're doing like a stir fry.
yeah, really nice for people that are fond of Thai food and some of the hotter
Yeah,
varieties of those sauces. Um, oh, and believe me, Lindsay absolutely loves her curry.
Blueberry bomb?
it's a blueberry habanero.
Yeah,
Kinda,
that would tend to explode in your mouth. Yeah. Uh,
Actually, a buddy of mine uh, said something that'll change your perspective on life. Get a good ice cream sandwich and add a blueberry hot sauce to it.
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
So you get kind of a blueberry chocolate ice cream flavor with a little bit of heat.
that sounds like something that'd be banned in Oak Ridge.
I love the name of their ghost pepper sauce. Who?
Oh dear. Ah. You know, these guys at work, they'd bring in just a huge variety of peppers that they grew, and like I said, some of them would sit there with a Joe Dog grin on their face, waiting on somebody to find one of the hot ones, and I'd just grab up a handful of things that I could recognize and take them home, chop them up, wearing gloves, of course.
Yeah.
Learned that one the hard way. Uh,
Applewood,
yeah.
Applewood smoked Carolina Reaper. That would be an
Wow.
interesting profile.
Senor Bacon, eh? Um, that sounds like a well. I mean, first review is can't even eat my omelet in the morning without it anymore. That sounds like it would be something that would be go perfect on like a breakfast skillet.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I've got a salsa verde in a uh, regular red salsa that I put on my hash browns when I actually have a breakfast plate. Uh, and I got used to that at work. It's like, hey, used to put ketchup on my hash browns because it's potatoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I had got some of this salsa and took it in, and I just one bottle of salsa would last me almost a month,
Mm.
almost. But then I was just pouring it
Heat
to these
stroke.
poor hash browns. Oh,
Rich, did you come across the Voodoo Loogie one yet?
Yeah, I see that it's right next to heat stroke.
Well,
I got to look at
so
drinking pepper. That looks interesting.
I'm looking at the ingredients for Voodoo Loogie. It's Jamaican yellow peppers, which I'm assuming are like a bell pepper, like a yellow bell pepper.
you'd have to look that one up. I do not
Yeah.
know.
white wine vinegar, the juices of mango, pineapple, lime, and orange, pure cane sugar, cilantro, onion, roasted garlic, sea salt, and a pinch of allspice.
Oh,
Lord,
if this
that sounds like something that someone would make pastry with. Uh,
if if this pepper just by looks is what I think it is, no, because it looks very much like a Scotch bonnet.
oh yeah,
Mm.
um,
Hot ones.
those are
100,000 to
interesting.
200,000 on the Scoville scale. So I don't know exactly where stuff is on the Scoville because it's been a while since I've cared to even look. Um, Scoville scale. It's between 100,000 200,000 is habaneros, yeah. Habaneros and Scotch bonnets is in that range.
Mm.
Ugh.
Now
So
I do have a few habaneros in my pickled pepper jar. I might have a Scotch bonnet or two, but not very many. But like I said, basically, I just bring stuff home and chop it. It was mostly um chilies and cayennes and things like the normal stuff. I mean, you might run across one that is especially uh, spicy, but then again, most of them were picked before they are entirely unsafe for human consumption. I was trying to say human combustion. No, they'd be perfectly safe for that. The spontaneous human combustion. Some of these people just went to Taco Bell once too often.
Hey, you can always
Uh,
do what my neighbor and I did.
Yeah.
Ferment them and turn them into a spicy moonshine.
this is true.
You don't know if the burn is the pepper or the.
Or the booze.
Yep.
Well, these I'll take like maybe I'll get out the tongs and I'll get one, maybe two, and put them in an entire huge crock pot of chili and let it cook all day. And unless you actually happen to get the bowl with that habanero slice still in it, it's basically mild enough for just about anybody, but it's still got that burn to it that makes it so good.
Mm-hmm.
If you happen to get that particular slice of habanero, this is why they invented sour cream.
May the deity of your choosing have mercy on your soul.
Yes. Oh, it's getting about time for me to make another pot of chili. It's been a while. 2.63693 million Scoville units.
Yeah, I actually saw a video on that. The guy who held the world record for the hottest pepper
Made
came
a
out
hotter.
with a hotter one.
Yeah, he didn't wait for someone else to break the record. He broke it himself.
Yep.
Hmm. Well, as you do.
Damn it, now I'm
Uh,
going to have to order some from this site. Well, they got a garlic and peppercini hot sauce.
okay.
That sounds really good.
Oh
Hey,
no,
Rob,
no,
there's
Rob.
no debate.
That debate is not coming up. No,
No, no
um,
carrots in the chili.
no. We're just talking about hot sauces in general at the moment. Um,
No carrots in the chili. No carrots in the chicken noodle soup. No carrots in the damn chicken salad. I like carrots, but not in those.
Not in everything,
I-
no.
It depends on the type of noodle for the chicken noodle soup.
Nope, nope, nope.
I don't like it in all chicken noodle soups, but Campbell's chunky. Campbell's? Wow. I will word correctly one day. But Campbell's chunky chicken noodle, I like it there. And I'm not normally a carrots and soup person to begin with normally, but that's one of the few places I really don't mind it.
I'm not a soup person, period, but I like the old fashioned Campbell's condensed, and I don't put water in it. I just take it straight from the can. There's chicken, there's noodles, and there's broth. That's all that ought to be in a chicken noodle soup. I'm sorry, I'm old fashioned that way.
That used to be Crow's preference for that, and then um, they weren't feeling good one day, and we were out of their chicken noodle soup, so they made mine, and I it's the only way I can really get the kid to eat carrots. So
Hey,
I'm not bitching.
whatever works.
Me too, Foxy.
Exactly.
Um,
Got a blueberry hot sauce too.
Believe it or not, there was a time when I would not eat fried green tomatoes. I would
Well,
not eat fried zucchini. I would not eat fried eggplant. And there suddenly came a day when I could no longer handle eating bologna, but I liked vegetables. But I don't know what happened. Um, Probably a side effect of puberty. I don't know.
well, your taste buds do change as you become adult.
Hmm.
That's why it's hard to get a child to like broccoli and cauliflower. It's not suited for their taste buds. But as they grow up, they'll learn.
hmm I do miss bologna though, but I have had a few since then, and I'm going, oh my god, I used to love this. Ah,
Oh no, as if long as it's Oscar Mayer.
that was the only brand the family would buy. But
hmm
yeah,
There-
um,
There's there's somebody else who does a garlic bologna, and I can't
Uh,
remember the name
crap.
of it. Hmm.
I know who you're talking about.
And it still comes with the red casing around it that you have to take
Bar
off.
Baras, something like that. I think.
Yeah. I think it's Bar S.
Oh yeah, that is it.
yeah, Boris is not bad. I mean,
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
d-
No,
uh,
can't tell what I'm usually reaching for in the lunch meat aisle. Uh, bologna or turkey. Those are my or a good Warsaw Caracas ham. Um,
Like I go with
Misty likes Black Forest,
Black Forest is
but
okay. I usually go for Oscar Mayer smoked ham.
we know Misty has no taste. She married me, so um,
oh,
No comment.
I've just about given up buying the sliced roast beef sandwich meat because every time I do, Lindsay makes au jus out of it, and it's good. It's just I wanted to slap that between two slices of bread and put some a horseradish on it. And I didn't want to have it as a soup. Um,
Misty gets mad at one the actually the two places that have really decent Italian beefs around us somehow cannot deliver au jus anymore. Every
uh,
time we order the au jus to go with it, The bag is soaked by the time it gets home, so it is guesswork whether the bag of food will actually make it up the stairs before splitting and dumping everything out. And it's just frustrating the hell out of her. I'm like, I'm fine. I don't need au jus. I'm like, well, I didn't. Now that I'm missing one of my salivary glands, I might have to.
Let me guess. One of the places is JJ's.
JJ's, and the other is Aurelia's on the far side of town.
Yeah, that's not just your JJ's. Trust me.
Well, we actually used to have no problem with any of the delivery services we went with being able to deliver au jus, but nobody wants to put it in a sturdy cup anymore.
Yeah. And some places just don't put the lids on tight enough.
Or don't have lids and just put foil over the goddamn thing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
dumbass
this is going to go well in somebody's pickup truck 60 miles an hour.
And Bladed, I do the same thing. If I go to a new restaurant, if they have a French dip on their menu, that is what I try.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's a French dip kind of person. I'm usually not.
Well, I figure
I don't like soggy sandwiches.
Well, and not all of them serve it soggy.
Well, I mean, if you're dipping it in the au jus, then it's, as far as I'm concerned, ends up as a soggy sandwich.
Mm.
But I figure I more do it for the beef, because if that's coming out dry, chewy, and I have to dip it, to be able to even try to swallow it, okay, I'm gonna be leery about the rest of your menu.
True.
Yeah. But what
but
I
also,
do is
if your bread is really kind of hard and crusty, that's when I like to dip it.
And there are some breads that are great for that. I mean, they're meant to be hard and crusty and be dipped. And they taste great.
Get out of my head, bitch.
You heard it here, folks. Dan likes it hard and crusty.
And it's meant to be dipped.
Frequently.
A lot of times, what I'll do with my au jus is I'll take a couple bites of the sandwich and then I'll sip it like a warm beef broth to go with it.
Yeah.
Yep, done that before too. Now, as far as if there's something on a restaurant menu that you have to try once you see it's there, for me it used to be omelets. And I have had some wonderful omelets, and I've had some that were okay. I mean, yeah, you did your best. I'll eat it anyway.
Yeah, for me, because of the dearth of good local gyro places, I if I see a gyro, I go for the gyro, and like, is this someplace I can actually go and enjoy one, or is this going to be another?
There's a gyro place in Athens. It's been open for over 40 years, so they must know what they're doing. Either that, or it's cheap enough that the college students go there and keep them in business.
Oh, that Athens. Never mind. I was thinking probably a bunch of them in Athens. I mean,
it's no.
Athens, I know where you're going. I'm being a smart ass.
It's right there next to campus. I mean, you go through the big iron gates, walk across the street, go a block towards where one of the best places for junk food used to be, the Varsity, and you're right there. The spaghetti store, Euro Wrap, and a couple of other places right there that were just...
I never would have seen the inside of a classroom, and I would have gained 30 pounds every year.
Hey, I had one guy that was in I believe it was a sociology class. They had early in the morning. We'd go to that class, and we both had like 2 hours before our next class. We'd go over to one of the local motels that had a breakfast bar, and just we would use an entire week's worth of food budget on a single breakfast, and
It,
my
so the
metabolism was much faster in those days. Believe me.
so the Euro place in Athens almost sounds like Euros in Valpo, Rich, because I know that's been around at least 40 plus years. I'll be
Euros, I think.
yeah,
Oh,
I'll be 38 in under an hour, and I know it was open before I was born.
King Euros. When I was working at SEI, they opened up one over there. It's the place that was the Sharky's Fish and Shrimp and like 18 million other things, since
Mm,
then and before then. But yeah, that's the first place I experienced King Gyros. And then when King Gyros was on my way home from work, and I started working um, downtown and living out in Kingsford Heights, then I would go ahead and I would sometimes just go through the drive-thru and get a gyro on the way home.
mhm. They're
Oh, Misty and the kids are having something I don't like. They're having Salisbury steak. It is a gyro night for Richie.
Mhm. Hey,
the one in Valpo used to be that if you want to do a bank robbery, do it at lunchtime,
All the
because
cops would be there.
every Valpo cop was going to be at King Euros.
Every Valpo in Porter County that was in the area.
Yep.
and once
What
again,
Don't
we're
get me
talking
wrong,
about
they had.
food. Hey,
Which don't get me wrong, they had
was
great
that
food,
fucking
but they
thing?
had to be giving away food to those cops too, because religiously they were there every day.
yeah, and thesis, what do you mean? Once again, would you rather we tell Joe Dog jokes? I mean, seriously, um, we're trying to lift the tone a bit. Um, I don't know why I'm in here, but yeah. Um, Foxy onion rings, yes. Varsity onion rings. I would go get a burrito at the taco stand, the one without the parking lot in the back, and drive down to the varsity and get a order of onion rings to go with it, and sit in their parking lot and have my burrito and the onion rings together, which is a weird combination actually, but at that age, at that time of my life, that worked just fine.
Hmm.
Um, oh,
More caffeine.
Are
yes,
you
please.
sure?
Yeah. No, there are places that no longer exist that I wish they did. There was a deep dish Chicago style pizza place over
Mm.
near the university, and it was tiny. It was never less than packed from the moment it opened till a half an hour after closing. They had not only the pizza, but they would serve pitchers of sangria to go with it. And it's like you go in there, 4 hours later, you walk out and go, I'm waiting on everybody else to leave the parking lot before I do. I don't want to get hit by one of these drunk college kids. And I am a drunk college kid at the time. Oh my goodness. Um, had one girlfriend that drugged me to what she called a traditional Mexican restaurant. And I go, I don't know what to order. Oh, They have chili. I didn't realize that was Mexican food. Mom's been making chili for years, and she just looked at me and go, "No, you have to try the other stuff. You can't just get a bowl of chili and say that's it." Um, when their second time I actually got the chili, I've had better at truck stops.
Well, it's hard not to have good chili and stuff. So
Yeah. Um, Actually, one of the better restaurants within 30 miles is inside a truck stop. It's a
truck
Fuddruckers
is usually
Hamburgers.
truckers get truck stuff. Interesting.
Yeah, you've got the Fuddruckers, you've got the gift shop next to it with all kinds of uh, pretty sharp, pointy things out of a Bud K catalog or something similar, and you've got all the radio gear and everything else that truckers would go, oh, that broke, I've got to get another one. And then you've got the dedicated uh, places in the back just for the truckers, the showers and
Showers and
lockers and things like
yeah,
that. And the long haul guys that pull up, park their truck, go take a shower, get something from the restaurant, stroll through the gift shop, maybe pick up some new music CDs or whatever for their truck. And oh dear, thesis. What did I say?
there's the truck stop in Lowell that they actually had like a movie room.
Forbidden phrase. Truck stop chili is a forbidden phrase.
Probably.
Oh,
I missed the old Country Pride that was inside the TAs.
oh.
Because back when I first started working at NDOT, they had all-you-could-eat breakfast.
Actually, this is a TA truck stop.
Yeah, Country Pride used to do an all-you-could-eat breakfast, and you could reorder everything, that came on the plate or just certain parts.
Oh, Bud K catalog. Yeah. Well, you've got to admit, thesis, they may be useless as all get out, but some of them are pretty. Um, until you actually hold them and go, "Good God, what is this made of? Aluminum?" Uh,
You okay over there, Rich?
Not sure.
Yay! Country Pride came on the plate. I'm trying not to bleed out through my tongue here.
I keep trying to think of. You're
Oh,
talking about your au juice. If you order it with au juice, the bag's soggy when you get the. There is a. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a paste that comes in a jar, and you just put it in water, and don't use a lot of it because it is saltier than.
Better than bouillon?
That's
better than
it,
bullying.
and that makes some
That
really good au jus.
hmm
those
Yeah.
are every one that I've tried so far. I've liked.
Yeah,
No,
when my mom found those, she fell in love with them, and that's all she bought was the better than bouillons, which they are great.
I will tell
And much
you
easier to
this.
use than bouillon cubes. I
I
never
thought
did get those to work.
I thought the better than bullion was the best thing ever, and then I married Lindsay and found out about OXO cubes. This keeps British people alive. Um, it's not as easy to make as better than bullion, but by God, the flavor is incredible.
What's it called?
OXO cubes. It's basically just
Dan, you have to remember, of the four of us here, I'm the worst cook. You just said it was harder to use than better than bouillon.
Well, I mean, you have to make sure the water. You have to make sure the water's hot. I mean, boiling hot. But yeah,
I do,
Air's
and it
almost
still
harder
doesn't
to
work.
use than better than bouillon.
I've done that with bouillon cubes. I still couldn't get the fuckers to melt. I suck.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I've had that same fucking issue.
yeah, really. I mean,
suck at cooking. I mean, what I can make, I'm very good at.
I just crush the cubes.
I've tried that too,
Yep.
Rich.
Misty would get
It
mad at me
doesn't
because
work
I would
for me.
prefer to buy the granulated, the powdered, instead of the actual cubes.
That's the only reason why we had a motor. And I'm not going to be able to say the word tonight. Little thing with the fucking granite thing that you pound the cube, pound
mortar
the
and
cube.
Mortar and
pestle.
pestle.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've got about 5 recipes that I can do from scratch and do well. That's it. I cannot fry chicken.
I can't either. I can set it on fire, but I can't fry it.
My poor mother tried so hard, and I would either burn it, or it'd be beautiful on the outside and raw on the inside.
Well, I can't remember. I think we were live during when my wife said this last night. But do you guys remember what my wife said about the difference between blackened and burnt at a restaurant?
Mm-hmm. That what, $5?
$20.
$20.
20
yeah.
bucks. Yeah. Just remember, folks, blackened anything is actually just burnt.
And Joe had to bring up brats, so Carl bought some brats, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Yeah. I think I did finally get them. I have discovered a thing called a meat thermometer.
Oh.
They never did brown, but at least they were cooked through.
So what I tend to do with mine, if I'm cooking them inside, because I have a cast iron like flat top thing that I put on the stove to cook them on, I'll take some aluminum foil and just kind of lay it across the top of them, so it kind of creates its own little hood, almost like having them in a grill. So that way it traps some of that heat in and helps them cook through, and you can still brown them that way.
Yeah, the poor man's Dutch oven.
All my frying pans are the Blue Diamond nose stick, which are wonderful, and I have this thing called a lid to put on it.
That works too.
Yeah.
I discovered I can cook chicken till it's done if I cut it up. Yeah, it does get that in my trusty little thermometer. I'm sticking it in the biggest one, going 120. I don't think that's done. Fortunately, I have a thing on my fridge like, oh, it's supposed to be 160. I think I need to cook that a little longer.
Well, for a minute there, I thought you were going to say that you wound up with charcoal briquettes. But,
oh no. I hover too much because I'm afraid I will burn shit. So yeah, it's.
Hey, I've got a smoke detector with a switch on it just because I was tired of my second wife using the smoke alarm as a dinner's ready.
I don't think there is a smoke alarm in the kitchen.
No, this is in the middle of the hallway. It's no, it's nowhere near the kit. Well, it's halfway between the kitchen and the bedroom, but
I'll have to go look. I don't think there's a smoke detector on the east side of the house downstairs. There is on the second floor,
Oh,
but I'm not sure on the first floor.
I need to put one down
we
here in the
just put
basement.
another one up. This one is smoke detector and
Carbon
carbon
monoxide.
monoxide,
Mm.
both. And I'm going. Um,
Well, night, Foxy.
Good night,
It's
Foxy.
great
Good
talking
night,
to you.
Foxy.
good night.
I'm just looking. This thing is up near the ceiling, and if the carbon monoxide gets that high, I've been dead for hours. And
Rich, you
need
look
to
like you
put it
found
on the
something interesting.
floor.
Sorry, what?
You look like you found something interesting.
I look like I found something interesting.
Yeah, just
What
more
you said?
Betty Page pictures.
You look like you
I'm
found something interesting.
I'm playing World of Warcraft.
Oh,
Oh yes, it's midsummer.
Yeah, glad to know we're that fascinating. Uh,
Yeah. Thanks to midsummer, I finally got my last 8 characters up to 70.
Due to having the drainage tube taken out and the stitches taken out, and uh, getting stabbed in the eye, I have as much time in the afternoon because I didn't really get a lunch to play World of Warcraft during lunch because it's uh, Miss Pandaria remix, so it's really easy to get a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of characters up to 70 and real quick, and also a great way to get some mounts that were nigh impossible to earn anymore because nobody wants to run content from expansion anymore for you to earn those mounts. So yeah, it's I'm running real quick things that basically I just have to follow along and try to keep up to the crowd because they're killing shit before I round the corner. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm getting the currency for it and everything, so I don't care. So I'm just running through all my characters to do that to make sure I can get everything purchased before the end of um, the thing. But there's a lot of waiting and sitting, but I have to get from one point to another. As soon as I get onto each of the characters, and then basically I just sit here until things pop, and that's where the good parts of the conversation have been, and then kind of have been going into things. So yeah, the timing's been perfect up until now, I guess.
yes, and then you decided to talk about mounting things. Um,
Um,
oh, Lord. Uh, I am dangerous some days. Uh, Thankfully, today's not one of those days. Uh, ooh, I've forgotten we had those walkie talkies. I'll have to recharge those. Used to use those as an intercom between Lindsay in the living room and me back here, and then she discovered she would just talk, and I would have to listen to her editorial about whatever it was that she was watching on the TV in the living room, which is the main reason why I wasn't in the living room. Um, God, evidently, the script writers for her soap operas are horribly inept. And we're talking British soap operas, not American soap
Mm-hmm.
operas. They're they tapped out a long time ago, but they're still churning out questionable content.
Mm-hmm.
And Lindsay's not the only one I know for a fact that is really tired of script after script after script about crooked cops and
Oh, they're just filing off the serial numbers and
yes, they are,
Mhm.
and they're even recycling their own stuff from 10 years ago, hoping that there
They
aren't
have
enough
new.
grannies left alive to remember when this happened the first time.
Mhm.
they're breaking the Lego pieces up and just rebuilding it completely different.
But
Well, it's not even that different.
it's so much fun watching Midsummer Murders. They've got enough young guys on there, but why do they keep showing old man butts? Because British stuff, they don't cover that up. But why are all the naked men old? And if they weren't reruns, I'd write in and complain about it. But it's no use now, is it?
They just write you back a polite note. I'm sorry, madam, that fellow died 37 years ago. Uh,
I
it's a
know.
little too late to put him on the treadmill and get him into shape. Uh,
No,
but
just,
thank you
just
for your
show
interest.
that. Just show Detective Troy's butt. Or Scott's butt. Yeah, that would be a good butt to show.
Yeah. Um, there's
Well,
there's
to each their own.
there's a some of the folks in the Doctor Who communities that are talking about one or two of the guys in unit calling them Commander Hottie and whatnot. Because I mean, okay, sure, if muscular and hairy and well spoken is your cup of tea, that's okay.
Works
Um,
for me.
well, uh,
I got to go back and watch that video again.
you're still trying to decipher tattoos. I know it.
That's right. It's educational.
It's research.
Lord.
That's exactly. Yes, Richard.
No, I'm suddenly hearing Shaggy's "It Wasn't Me" um, playing through my head with you know right after "It Wasn't Me," fatally trailed with "God damn it," you know.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
every time I hear that, I thought it should have been done by Eddie Murphy. It would have been so much funnier. Um,
Eddie, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
He spit out the fish and said, "Goody goo goo."
Oh dear.
I'm guessing that's a Warcraft thing. Uh,
Oh no, it was from a couple of Eddie Murphy albums. I think it was on both Comedian and Delirious. He was talking about
okay,
his
it's been
his
a
aunt.
while.
And it's uh, his uncle married American, so he turned to one of his coworkers after that, and he's like "Goody goo goo," and the Mexican's like, "What the fuck are you saying?" Um, and he's like, came back, he's like, "Your wife is not Mexican; she's a Bigfoot."
Uh,
And then took the kids fishing, and one just stuck their face in the water, came out with the fish in their mouth, looked at his brother, and said, "Goody goo goo." Um, so it's Eddie Murphy, comedian or comedy soundtracks were a major part of my education growing up.
Okay. I started to say, see, it's not all about food, but then, yeah, I guess it is. I mean, you're catching fish, so
in a way.
um,
And then, of course, the falling downstairs. Kids just overdone with, they could fall down 1,000 stairs. They'd be done in like half a second. Get up like, I'm fine, and just run off. Where an adult's like, ah, somebody help me, help me! Ah, somebody help me! My shoe! It takes an adult like 6 years to fall down a flight of 5.
Let's not talk about falling.
Yeah.
We have 2 friends that Carla had gone to school with that we play euchre with every month, and we make a round of the 3 houses. Well, today we went to the lady's house in Oakwood, and we walk in, and she's got her arm in a sling. She had been watering the flowers and was walking backwards and tripped over a water main or a gas main or something like that, and she'd broken her arm. And it's actually in a temporary cast because they're going to have to go in and do surgery and put pins in later. She just did this last night, and it's like we could have rescheduled, and she's like, no, everything was already done, and her husband stayed home from work because they didn't get home from the hospital till like 3 a.m. So he sat in with us to play euchre. She was trying to, and she's right-handed, so of course that's the arm she broke. So yeah, it was like, okay, nobody, no steps, no watering plants, nothing ever again. Because last month it was me and my knee. Fortunately, that wasn't at our house, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm still wondering what happened to my neck. Did I just fall over something here in the office? Or was it when the dog kicked me out of the bed before I could get into it? Or what?
And you're over 40. You slept.
Oh,
No.
he's way over 40.
I'm almost twice over 40.
Yeah. As soon as you hit 40, it's like you wake up in the morning, what the hell happened? You go to the doctor, you broke a rib. How did I break a rib? I slept. I didn't fall out of bed. There's nothing, unless I fell out of bed and fixed whatever I knocked over on my way down,
Mm-hmm. Tell me about it, Rich. I mean, I simply turned over in bed, moved my knee, and my knee said, I don't like the way you did that. I'm not working anymore. Felt like somebody stabbed me with a sharp pitchfork. And yes, I'm a farmer's daughter. I know what a nub pitchfork feels like when it pierces the skin.
Yeah, you did have brothers, didn't you?
No, by then my brothers were married and out of the house, and I was having to do the hay pitching and crap like that. And have I mentioned I've always been a clumsy? I can't believe my father allowed me to do that. I can't believe I was that loud up in the hayloft by myself.
Oh, you just reminded me, if it had been nowadays, my dad probably would have been arrested for some of the hay hooks that he made. I mean, those things were definitely martial arts weapons. I mean, Thesis would go, ooh, cool. It's got a handle and a hook, and the point can go through, it's titanium. It can go through just about anything. I'm surprised he didn't put a carbide tip on them.
That's right. Your pops was, so he had access to the good stuff.
Oh yeah. We got one. He made it out of stainless steel bar, heated and bent and welded and sharpened. And it's just a hay hook with
Just
a D-ring handle. I mean, seriously. Uh, if you needed something to catch Moby Dick, this is what you would tie on the end of your fishing line. Oh my goodness. Um,
oh, and it's no fun when your best friend is also a nurse because I go for my yearly wellness in August, and I'm like, okay, my knee's going to be fine by then. I'm not saying anything. I made the mistake of saying that to her, and I got threatened that if I
mm,
don't, she was going to call my doctor and tell her. Like, okay.
well, Lindsay is threatening to make me a appointment with a chiropractor, and I'm going. Um, if that'll help, I'm all for it.
It
You gotta
might.
watch
Otherwise,
you gotta
it
watch chiropractors
might. Uh, I
Yeah, you
mean,
got to get a reputable one.
yeah.
because the wrong chiropractor cracking that neck, you could have a blood clot go to the brain.
Yep.
Hmm.
Who'd notice? I mean, seriously, I functioned without brains for a long time.
I love you, Dan.
She loves you, Dan. She doesn't want to see that kind of stroke.
Just prop me up in the corner, put a beer in my hand, I'll look natural. Uh, I always threatened if anybody ever gave me a wake, I would probably be sitting up insisting on bartending. You wanted a scotch and soda? I'm sorry, you got a scotch and scotch. Um,
Yeah. Why?
remember me.
Why would you want to ruin good scotch by putting soda in it?
I don't know. I'm not a scotch aficionado, but I respect the people that are. I mean,
I'm not an aficionado, but yeah.
I'm,
I
I'm,
respect
I'm,
Scotch drinkers. Not my thing.
yeah. Now I am overly fond of the Irish whiskies, but Scotch,
Mhm.
eh,
I'm more of a
um,
whiskey person myself.
I really haven't developed a taste for that, but probably some of the other things that I have experimented with in recent years would tend to be the stepping stones to finally being able to appreciate Scotch. I have gotten some of those little uh, one shot testers,
Hmm.
paint size bottles of different brands and things, and I discovered that the ones that are really peaty are not to my taste whatsoever, but the ones that are just kind
Yeah.
of mildly so, they're not bad. I mean, I wouldn't go out and spend $200 on a pint of it, but
True. One of
Yeah,
my
sorry, go ahead.
one of my nephews posted something about Fireball a couple days ago, and I said, "Yeah, that's my favorite whiskey." And he's like, You drink, Aunt Donna?" I'm like, your Aunt Donna does so much shit that you just haven't the idea.
oh my god.
You can just look at that. You've met the family.
you're, you're related to me. What do you think? Oh Lord. Uh
What were you going to say, Rich?
Oh, when it comes to like the really PT scotches and stuff like that, and I I I don't like drinking a campfire, and that's what it tastes like. It tastes like the air around a campfire in liquid form.
Mm-hmm.
Love the smell, not a fan of the taste.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like some kinds of wine I think are great for a marinade, but I wouldn't want to drink them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, not
Oh,
on a regular basis, anyway.
I like sweet wine, and when I say sweet, sweet wine.
Mm.
So we went to Benny's had a wine tasting event, and I went there and I'm looking at the descriptions and okay, I'm passing this group up because those are all dry wines and okay, I can't tell from the descriptions on this. So I talked to the rep there. I'm like, I only like sweet wines. Are yours dry or sweet? And she says, oh, you'll like this one. It's a sweeter wine. And I should have known when she added that ER on there. And I
Hmm.
took a sip and I looked at her and I said, that was a lie because this is dry. And I won't be purchasing from you. No, no, no.
There's one that I found, and I looked at the bottle on the shelf, and it was half melted. No, no, seriously. The place that it was made, the warehouse and the I don't want to call it a distillery because it's wine.
Mm-hmm.
Winery.
Winery, yeah.
The winery burned down,
Ooh.
and they saved about 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the warehouse, but the bottles were exposed to the fire. So the bottles were misshapen from the fire. This was definitely a dessert wine because it's some of the sweetest stuff I've ever had. It's called Toke Ashu or something like that. It's
That
Sounds
So
tight.
had to be very fortuitous because
it's
I thought wine at really high temperatures turns into vinegar.
that's what I was just going to ask. Wouldn't the fire have affected it?
well, it affected the bottle it was in, didn't affect the wine. Um, evidently, it was a very very famous um, dessert wine or aperitif or whatever. Uh, but
Same thing.
it it tasted like the Bible describes heaven to be. I mean, this is all beauty and light and glory and singing and all in this one little half melted bottle. Um, and they go, "Hey, we got about four more of those. There won't be any for a few more years because they have to rebuild the winery and start making more." And I'm going, "I'll take them all."
Hmm.
And that lasted about 2 weeks. But
Oh, we're down to about the last 10 minutes.
Yep.
oh, and well, we don't have a copy of almost the end of the show here. Um, quite frankly, because there's not room in the directories for me to upload the same things that Joe Dog has over in the stupid o'clock stuff because there's too many. Good night, everybody's. Uh, I swear he's got every good night, everybody from the Warner Brothers and Sister dot entire series. But no, there were a couple of things I wanted to upload. I had to get Jodo to delete something, so I had room over here.
Dragon fruit rum.
Had a bottle of dragon fruit rum that lasted me too long.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm.
How long is
Rum
too
and
long?
vodka is more where my palate when it comes to liqueur. A few whiskeys, a few bourbons. I'm not a big fan of 99% of the wines I've tried.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Rich, if you go to the Chesterton European Market to get some of that hot sauce, stop by the Indiana Whiskey Company booth.
Yes, I've been listening to some of the beverages you and Trey have been talking about. That sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And they give out free samples.
Oh shit! I need a designated driver.
And if the right guy is there, it's not just like a little bit in the bottom of the plastic cup; it's a full shot.
Ooh.
Everything okay?
Huh? Oh.
The Witzman dude is prowling.
I don't know if I should be worried about that or not.
Is there a redhead in the yard or something?
Talk like a team. Oh, sorry, wrong type of prowling.
Yeah.
There. I'm trying a respectable number of different wines. Like Aunt Donna, I'm not really fond of the dry ones that much, but every once in a while you run into something that go, hey, wow, this would be great with a really sharp cheddar cheese or something like just there's something it would go with really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you would buy it on that basis. But
get the right mead with a nice slice of lemon or wedge of lemon to go with it.
I was gonna say meat is very good. Yeah.
And
I'm looking at that Bacardi Dragonberry that this is posted the link for.
Yeah.
And that actually does sound really good mixed with ginger ale like they show on the picture.
Well, I want to know why it lasted him too long.
I didn't understand either one of them. Did you, Donna?
No.
Okay.
I want to know why Thesis considered that bottle to have lasted him entirely too long.
And then I was saying I've got a bottle of Malibu pineapple rum sitting right next to me.
I haven't bought any rum in about a month. It's about time I went by the liquor store.
Ooh, strawberries. Yeah,
I was
sound good, and it's Bacardi, so you know it's a good brand.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to recommend Aunt Donna's brand of moonshine, actually, because they have, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 different varieties now.
Smoky Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're not all available at all times because April just came back from Tennessee and she bought me key lime pie cream. Oh my gods.
Oh, yes.
It was just like a key lime pie.
That is a good excuse, Thesis.
Yep, that is a very good reason.
You are a wise man.
Yes. Oh,
And there's Carl checking up on Aunt Donna. No, last time I saw, we went to one of the, uh, I don't want to call it boutique liquor stores, but
Mhm.
one of the ones that are bigger than a Sears used to be. And they
Caesars
had,
have liquor?
well, this liquor store had uh, about a 8-foot square set of shelves of nothing but Smoky Mountain moonshine,
Mm,
in, including the one that is cherry with cherries inside.
mm.
It's like a
Oh,
bottle of
the maraschino
cherries
cherries,
with
yes.
with the moonshine poured on top of it.
Ooh, I'm
They
Uh,
also
gonna.
have that with peaches and pickles, I think.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
not
I
not
mean,
too
not the
sure
same
about
jar. That'd be a nasty taste combination together. But I mean,
I'm not too sure about the pickles. The peaches might be okay,
mm,
and then
Mhm.
I look at the cherries and I go,
yeah.
Mhm.
that's a temptation I probably should avoid.
that
Now
could be
imagine
dangerous.
taking those cherries and covering them in chocolate.
Yeah, I was.
Yes, makes a hell of a fondue. Um, and if you remember the old Saturday Night Live with fondue pots for Namibia, uh, God, that was what, first year, second year? Garrett Morris was doing this, and it was like, they let you get away with this in New York?
It is
Back
New
then,
York.
yes.
Oh, good grief. The evening is coming to a close, my friends.
Mhm.
Almost time to say goodnight, Gracie.
Yep. If you got any links, drop them. If you don't worry about it. We know Indie CD. We know Aunt Donna's books and Uncle Carl's books are on Lulu.com. And there are
Actually,
even
they're not.
ebooks there now. They're not on Lulu anymore?
Only ebooks are
Only ebooks.
available on Lulu. If you want a physical copy, you have to talk to me.
All right. Good thing to know. And Richie is going to have a story coming out in Aphelion next month. Are you not?
As far as I know,
That's what he hears.
you told me that and haven't told me otherwise. So I'm assuming.
Yes.
We,
And in August, I do believe Thesis has a story coming up. I,
which reminds me, Richie, when are you getting together with Carl for the cover for your book? That is all it needs is a cover.
It's been an interesting couple of months.
Which is why
Um,
I haven't been bugging you. But you're getting
but
better now.
yeah, it's that's one of the things that was on my to do list is to try to make time and have that conversation.
Hush up,
So
Woodsman, dude.
so soon, and not IT department soon, which could be 5 minutes or 5 years. Um, Actual soon.
I can't remember. Did I add? I know I added Bladed to the authors section. I don't know if I added Foxy. I'm
you
gonna have to look.
should. You
You
should.
bastard!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and look.
Yeah.
Because once you get
And
your article published, Rich, I'm gonna have to add you.
this would be. Well, wait a minute. This is. Won't this be your second story, Richie?
It'll be my first story with Aphelion. I've got six that
Okay.
were podcast and released in audio books, both as individual podcasts, and they were gathered up for seasons of the podcast into audiobooks back about 15 years ago or so with Every Photo Tells. But and that site is still there. It's
Foxy's in bed with some dude. Shut up.
so technically they're still up there, in the audio form. But it
Yeah,
was
and
a first, electronic, Creative Commons license and all that stuff. So
and Joe, when I decide on the file name for Richie's story, I'll message you as to what the link is. I mean, if you know the general formula I use for Aphelion links, you could get year, month, day, everything but
Hmm.
the actual file name. And that's useless until I actually decide on what the file name is going to be. Because sometimes I have to truncate things, and sometimes I just go, that's a really good story title. How do I compress this down to something that is linkable?
Hmm.
Because we can't use spaces. It's old fashioned uh,
HTML.
FTP, and if you put spaces in things, it doesn't like transferring the files.
Hmm.
So yeah, it'll be all right. It'll work out. And on that note, folks, we have reached the 2 hour mark and surpassed it by just a bare minimum. And before I have time to say anything else embarrassing that I'd really rather say for tomorrow night, let's just go ahead and tell the bedtime story and say
Wait.
goodnight, Gracie.
Wait.
Something else we have to do real quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Joe.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday, Joe.
And Donna, don't you mean see everybody Friday?
No, there's another Last Man Standing on Thursday.
I just
It is
did
Thursday. Well,
one.
sorry, Thursday was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. This isn't Saturday night.
No, that's how good was that key lime pie cream old Smoky that she brought home to
I
Did
really
did
that
Carl
day.
make the mistake of leaving it on your desk so that you can just keep cruising that all night long?
Hey,
I'm okay,
Lin-
folks.
Lindsay got up Tuesday morning, and we had slept late uh, because we'd spent all day Monday driving home from the convention. She goes, "Oh, I should have been at food distribution at work. All those poor people that depend on me to translate Spanish, they're going to be so disappointed." And I go, um, "Church food distribution is the last Wednesday of each month?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "Honey, it's only Tuesday. You didn't sleep that long."
That's right, Carl. When you retired, every day is Saturday.
Yeah, I'm beginning to learn that. Um, yeah, but try going to get a 12 pack before 12:30 and on Sunday in Georgia, and
Uh,
see if that
Or
works.
Indiana.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In any case, oh God, there are 12 comments. How did I get so far? Is Carl talking again?
yeah,
Um,
it's mostly saying good night to everybody. So, good
okay.
night, Gracie.
Good night, folks.
Good
Hasta
night,
luego, people. Be
everybody.
safe.
We will
Go
see
to
you
bedtime story.
hopefully tomorrow in the green room, and if not, Stupid O'Clock and Last Man Standing on Saturday night, Sunday morning. Um, And if we see you in between times, it means I've either
You're lucky.
teleported or you have. But yes, outro, not the intro again. Outro. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Aphelion Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphelion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.